guys, I'm ChezPride and welcome back to another Sims 4 related video. And today, once again, I want to create a fairy in Create a Sim. But this time it's not just any fairy. I actually want to take my most recent Sim self, the one I did when I created all of my tattoos, and make her into a fairy. And as much as you guys know how much I love making fairies at this point, like, it's actually become slightly a normal thing on my channel since the pack has come out, I actually have a reason in mind with doing this one. So actually, funny enough, this pack pretty much came out at the perfect timing in my life because next month, every weekend, I've picked up a gig at a locally family-owned Renaissance festival as a fairy who entertains kids and sells bottles of fairy dust. So as you can imagine, prepping for that has been taking a lot of my brain space, and the prep work going into it is really fun, but it's also a lot of work and really time consuming. But I thought since the fairy pack just came out, and I'm in the middle of collecting and buying all my pieces, not only for my set, but also for my outfit, I could try seeing close to see how it's probably going to look all together by making a look that is somewhat close to what I'm planning on wearing as the Fae at the fair. Because I have a whole persona in mind with a name and everything. I am very excited. And like I said, I just love the fact that the Sims team finally gave us a fairy pack right as I started prepping for this fairy gig. I did get the fairy gig before the pack was announced. So when the pack was announced shortly after the owners hired me on as a fairy, I was like, oh my god, this was meant to be. I mean, I always loved fairies growing up, to the point I would read books on them. I collected figurines of them. I would even just hang around the fairies at the Georgia State Renaissance Festival just to watch them because I was just so enchanted by them. And actually, to be fully honest, this isn't my first gig as a fairy either. My family grew up going every year, honestly, if not every weekend of the year, at the State Renaissance Festival where I live since before I was born. To the point my sister actually travels with the State Renaissance Festival for a living. And my first quote-unquote gig I had at the state festival where I live, which basically means that wherever my sister stuck me and told me to do stuff for the owners of that store while she went and made actual money because she was supposed to be watching me because I was underaged, I ended up playing a fairy that sprinkled fairy dust on people, and the owner, quote unquote, paid me in fairy dust necklaces. So the fact that almost 2 decades later, I'm doing something very similar for a fair right outside of where I live is honestly pretty fitting. So basically this place has a autumn and spring season, but obviously I'm starting in the autumn season. So for the autumn season, I will be playing this whole fall fae type situation. And if I like it, then I can go back in the spring and do the same thing, but just a spring fairy instead of a fall fae. But since the fall is coming first, that is the persona that I want to create today. And like I said, I have a whole fairy persona that I'm turning into with a name and whatnot. So today I want to see that persona come to light in The Sims. And since I'm turning myself into that fairy, I figured it would be appropriate to create that look using my last Sim self I made. So let's go ahead and change me into a fairy, put the proper trait and names in, and then we'll go ahead and get to the makeover. So let's go ahead and fall into this process of making me a fall fae by giving me a proper fall fae name, because obviously I can't go by my internet name as a fairy if I'm trying to do a whole fall fae persona. So the name I have chosen for my fall fae is Fallon, so Fallon, the fall fae. So Fallon, the fall Faye. So that is going to be my name. And honestly, I'm just kind of curious to see what wings it's going to give me right off the bat. Like, I will probably change them to match my wings that I got in real life, obviously. But I'm just curious of what they're going to give me. So let's go ahead and change my sim into a fairy. Let's see. What wings did you give me? Honestly, I do love these wings. Like, if I was able to afford big wings like this is probably what they would look like. But those aren't what my current wings look like. But before we change my whole persona, let's go ahead and change the traits and aspiration. Now, obviously, I'm turning myself into a fairy. So the fairy aspiration is very fitting. And let's go ahead and take off all my traits. Honestly, I should probably take off some of my preferences as well because they probably don't fit my persona's interests. So I guess we can change some of this. I don't know. I feel like she would like pranks, but maybe because we're working with kids, we would dislike physical intimacy. I don't know. I feel like I have to like certain things. Like I have to like small talk. You know, I have to be able to be social. As far as colors, I'll like all my normal colors. And I'll probably take off gray and purple because they have nothing to do with my outfit. But I need to like brown, so I need to change that. I need to like orange. And I'll take off yellow because that's indifferent. But I can also like red, because I feel like those are going to be most of the colors in my outfit. I don't know, because I also feel like I'm going to have touches of blue, so I'm going to leave that in there. And then as far as activities go, I can like baking. I need to like cooking as a fae. I don't know. Even though they technically don't require cooking, but we can like dancing, we can like comedy. I'm totally still into not liking fishing or fitness, but maybe I can pretend to like gardening. We can like guitar. Let's see. I don't think like media production is, well, I'm going to be advertising myself on my Instagram, so maybe we like mischief as a fairy and natural living as a fairy. And maybe we like painting as a fairy. We can still dislike robotics and rock climbing. I feel like that makes sense. Singing makes sense. Maybe I'll take off the video games. Maybe I'll be into tattooing and thankology. I don't know. That's 50 interests though, so maybe I should stop there. It's not too important, but I want it to somewhat fit my fairy persona vibe. And speaking of the persona vibe, I need traits. So I feel like as a fairy working with kids, I should probably be quite cheerful. I feel like that's just fitting. Maybe a little self-assured, honestly. Like I should probably have some confidence. But also, I want to have a straight up fairy trait. And I think the fairy vibe I'm going with is mystical. So we'll go with that for my traits and interests, and obviously my name. And now we can go ahead and give myself an actual fairy makeover. So I feel like most people in the scenario of making this video would start out with like the wings and then go to the outfit. But that's the part that I'm actually most certain about in real life. And this video, I'm kind of trying to like slightly experiment to see how things are going to look. And I'm less sure on my hair and makeup. So I think we're going to start out with my face. But actually, we're going to start out with my ears first. So obviously, as a fae, I'm going to have pointed ears. They're going to kind of be more like this. Maybe even like this, maybe. This is more the ears I went with. They're slightly bigger. So maybe more like that. Either way, we're probably not going to see them through whatever hairstyle I choose. But I want them to be there for the record. And I'm going with like an orange hair. I have longer hair. Now, granted, my hair is not going to be any of these. Because basically what I'm doing is I'm doing this color orange. Like at the top. I'll just go ahead and put that there. Honestly, this hairstyle is kind of fitting. I don't, wait, hold on. I actually don't hate this. This was just a random hairstyle, but I kind of like this. But what I was going to say was that I'm doing my main hair this color, but then the tips are going to be like brown. And of course, if you've seen pictures of me, I have for several years had a black layer on the underlayer of my hair, and none of the hairs have that. So I can't do my exact hair, but we can do like the top of my hair, like the orange without the brown, and then pretend there's a black layer underneath. But honestly, if this hair had bangs, it would be perfect. But I always have my bangs, so I have to choose a hair that has bangs on the correct side. I wish that this had bangs on the other side, because that would be such a fairy look. I don't know if I would have the loops, but my hair is going to be more like this, but not with the clips. That could work. Ooh, what about this from Paranormal? Honestly, this is kind of perfect because I'm going to like slightly have my hair be choppy. So just imagine this with orange tips and a black layer underneath. And the fact it shows my ear, I kind of love it. But that also makes me want to put on an earring, which honestly, I've been kind of debating on adding an earring to my outfit. So I wouldn't hate it. I just don't know. Like, I would almost want like a ear cuff moment situation. I don't know if we have an ear cuff on this side. I know we have ear cuffs on the side that my hair is hiding. And of course, all the earrings are showing on that side. Maybe something like this. If I could find something like this in real life, that would be pretty fitting, honestly. So we can do that. I know that I have a flower crown being made. If I had a preference, it would more so look like this, like in an orange tone, like this. But I think the flower crown that my mom's best friend is making me is going to be more like this. Not so crazy, but this is more the vibe she's going with. So I'll probably give myself this just because it's going to be the most true representation. And then let's go ahead and go into makeup. So I'm not doing any funky teeth or anything, but I have no idea what to do makeup wise, and this is honestly the part I want to experiment the most with. So I know obviously I need like orange makeup. Oh, I look weird without black eyeliner. Okay. See, I would automatically want to do something like this, but I'm trying to go with like a light fairy-esque look. Like, almost like this maybe. Oh, I look weird. I need some lashes. That's what I need. Lashes. There we go. I feel a little bit better. Well, what if we did that? Those actually kind of work better for the fall fae look. Okay, we'll go with that. Maybe we can add, I gotta add at least some decent eyeliner. Ooh, we could also do something like this. I was thinking about doing some kind of fun makeup. So the fun eyeshadow is honestly not that far off. Oh, I don't know about that. We could mix it with a face paint. I am wearing highlighter right now, so we would have to take it off. But I think it's going to be worth it because I want to do some kind of crazy makeup. Like I said, I just don't know what. I mean, I kind of like this, like just the stars and sparkles. But I almost think I should go for something a little bit more bold. Now, if I had like the makeup skills, I could do something like that. But I do not have the makeup skills for that. We do have something like this, but none of this really comes in the right colors. And I don't know if I'll really be doing flowers. And there's this. Yeah, I think this might be our move. I mean, we also have like the island makeup, which could be a fun time. Like, honestly, that looks nice. But I kind of like this. There's no real orange tones. There's a yellow. I mean, I guess the red has orange in it. So we could just imagine something like this, but with like less red in it, like, and more orange. I think that's the vibe I'm going for. And then honestly, I have no idea what to do with lip color. Like, should I go with a dark lip? Or should I go with like an orangey lip? I kind of like the orangey lip. See, this is the part I'm totally experimenting on because I have no idea what I want to do. Oh, the two-tone lip isn't horrible, but I don't see myself buying 2 different shades of lipstick because honestly, I have no lipstick. So I kind of like this orange tone, but honestly, I think this was kind of the best one. Like maybe like this. That kind of fits the right orange vibe I'm going for. Okay, so maybe we do something like this for my makeup. Not too crazy, but it's definitely fun and fairy-esque. I feel like I will probably add like glitter, obviously, because I'm going to be selling glitter. So I'll probably have more sparkle than this. But other than that, I think that's pretty close as far as I'm wanting makeup wise. So now let's go ahead and do my outfit. I could try the dress from the pack, but I don't know if that's exactly, and this is kind of the vibe I'm going for, but not really. What I have is like basically there's an orange dress on the very bottom, and then I'll have a black corset over it, and I'll have like a brown and black skirt kind of combination over that. So this would be like the closest look wise, but it doesn't have an orange swatch. This is kind of the vibes of the outfit I'm going with, but not so fairy-esque. So maybe let's see what we have as far as like orange tops, and then maybe we can match like a skirt with it. Now I don't think I'll find an orange top with a black corset. I just don't think that's something we have. It's not exactly the right color. Mine's more of a like brighter orange. But imagine this with like a black corset over it. That's pretty much my shirt. I guess we could get like a high-waisted skirt. Let's see. The skirt is brown and black. So I feel like we could put on a brown and black filter and find one. I'm thinking maybe I reflect more on the brownness of the skirt. And there's this. It doesn't give the exact right color combination. Like it is basically this with an orange layer underneath. There's this skirt. This is pretty much right, but like, do we have it? Oh yeah, we have it in dark brown. Okay, so mine's more of a black skirt with brown lace over the orange on the underneath. So it's like basically it's shorter in the front and longer in the back of a black skirt. I'm gonna pin it up, and then there's gonna be a brown skirt over orange skirt. But this kind of gives the right vibe of the layeredness. This is the right color brown, and most of it will be brown. So I feel like this is fitting. It's not exact, but it's fitting. We can go ahead and take off my accessories. Let's go ahead and choose a shoe, because I'm actually not 100% sure on the shoe yet. I haven't bought the shoes yet. I'm waiting till my next paycheck. But I was thinking kind of something like that. Well, maybe not like that. Maybe like this. This is kind of what I was imagining, like just some simple brown sandals like this. I wouldn't hate having, more like this, where it kind of has like a wrap around my ankle. I don't know. I feel like this is fitting for what I'm imagining. And then I have the idea. I'm wanting my mom to make me, because my mom's a big crocheter, she's gonna make me some crocheted gloves. I don't think we have exactly the gloves I'm going for, but they're going to be similar to this. Like, they're not going to go all the way up. Like, they're probably going to stop like right here, but this is the shape I'm wanting. They're obviously going to be darker, not really see-through, because they're going to be made out of yarn, but this is the shape that they'll be. So I don't hate putting that on. And then I was thinking about getting like some cheap like stick-on nails, just like brown stick-on nails, just because, I don't want dirt under my nails if I'm going to be playing a fae for kids. So maybe that's the look done. I honestly really want to put a necklace though. This is kind of what my coin necklace looks like, except it would be black string and a silver thing. So that could work. Oh my, but I also kind of like this, because this is this kind of looks like the choker I have, but a little bit more fairy-esque. I kind of like that, kind of just to represent the choker I have. I wish we could do double necklaces. Or I guess this could represent my choker and my coin necklace. That's more close than the other one, at least. Okay, we'll do that. And now, did everything transfer over here? Okay, everything transferred over. I do actually really quick just want to make this whole look like for all my outfits. So right quick, I'm going to go ahead and put in this. We'll go ahead and put in all the accessories. So gloves and fingernails. I didn't put any leggings, right? Yeah, I didn't put any leggings. And then the skirt we can put for an everyday, the top everyday. The makeup also will have to be part of all of them. I keep saying every day, but I mean like every category. All right, and then I think unfortunately, yeah, this one I have to click through each individual one. It honestly doesn't even show the swatch I'm using. That's so weird. The headdresses I feel like are so glitched. Okay, maybe I should also make the hair for every single category. That would be helpful. I just assumed that it would change automatically. It did not. Okay, but let's go ahead and put on the flower crown for all the outfits. Because for some reason, like, these don't qualify for any other outfits. I don't know why they only qualify. Well, yeah, the flowers only qualify for every day. That's so weird to me. All right, but let's go ahead and put the flowers on all the outfits. There we go. And I guess I can go ahead and put my earring and necklace on every outfit. So let's go ahead and do that. And honestly, do I have... I guess all my piercings went on all my outfits, not just my earrings. At least I'm going to assume so. All right, so that is her and all her outfits, because I made all her outfits the same. Now for the final thing, which honestly I feel like most people would have done first, like I said earlier, the wings. Now I have to find the shape of the wings I'm getting, like at least close, and then I can worry about the color. So it's kind of like this, but less dragony, if that makes sense. This is similar, but they don't really have holes in it. This is pretty much perfect. This is very similar. Do they have an orange by default? This is very close. This is very close. Okay, hold on. This could work. Let's see if there's any other... Yeah, I think this is pretty much the right vibe. Okay, so we're going to change the main color to orange, obviously. I think maybe the base could be dark orange. Yeah. And then it has more like brown accents and yellow accents than it does anything else. Honestly, that kind of works. That kind of works. Like, I think that's the closest I'm going to get to my wings. Like, I was not expecting the wings to take like 2 seconds, but they totally did. Okay. And with that, I think that's pretty much my whole look. Like, that's pretty close. So just imagine this with like a black corset and like a little bit orange showing underneath the brown, as well as like a little bit of black of a skirt on top, and like a flower skirt, because I have like a flower skirt coming. So basically layer the skirts and add a corset and a flower skirt, and this is pretty much what my whole fairy persona will look like for the fall. So I present to you my fall fae version of myself, Fallon the Fall Fae. And like I said, I am going to be quite busy, and honestly have been quite busy with getting ready for this and doing this once September hits. So if my videos do lack a little bit, I do apologize. Honestly, they've been lacking a little bit just because I've been really into getting ready for this. But I have worked out a schedule to where hopefully before September hits, I'll be slightly caught up with bringing certain series back, as well as getting most of the major reviews for this pack out of the way. But I've worked out a schedule during September where I'm probably going to aim to upload 2 videos a week. We'll see how it goes because I'm pretty much having to take a day off during the week. I normally work Monday through Friday and the weekend gig is Saturday and Sunday. So if I didn't take a day off during the week, I would not have a single day off for a month, which would not work with my narcolepsy. I would crash after 2 weeks. So I've taken 1 day off during the week to kind of be like a prep day, but it'll probably honestly be more of a recording day. So my goal is to get 2 videos up a week during September and as many as I can to kind of make everything ready for September for the remaining 2 weeks of this month. But during September, my goal with my busy schedule is going to be to upload 2 videos a week. But we'll see after that. And if I keep up with that schedule, by November, I should have all the fairy content I want out. And I'm saying that generously. I think before the end of October. But I also have to keep in mind during October, I always do spooky season stuff. So I'll be mixing that in as well. But my goal is to finish all of the fairy reviews before whatever pack that's coming in November comes out in November, because there has been several speculations that we're getting a pack in November. Now, whether it's bands, hotels, or whatnot, we're not 100% sure yet, but I want to have the reviews for this pack done before then. And you guys know me, it takes me a while to get reviews out. My next one is going to be the biggest one that I've been dreading, and that is the actual gameplay of the fairy. I've done some gameplay, like turn fairies into fairy, or turn actual sims into fairies in the game, but I haven't actually played too much with actual gameplay. I've mainly stuck in create a sim and build mode, so I am excited for it. I've just been slightly nervous for it. So I feel like that's been slightly the reason I haven't come out with it yet, but I'm going to push myself, and that is going to be the next review video I make. And then everything else won't be as big of a review video. It'll be like going over the plants and the plant sims and, well, I guess living off the land and doing the apothecary skill would count as big review videos, but I want to get all the fairy content of the review videos out of the way before I do like the apothecary skill or living off the land, just because like I have fairies in my head right now, and in my mind this is like the fairy pack. But anyway guys, I hope you kind of enjoyed me turning myself into my fall fae and hearing about what's going on in my life and pretty much getting a slight schedule plan, but we'll see how my narcolepsy acts with this. But anyway guys, I'm going to end this one here. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that awesome stuff because you guys are awesome people. I'll see you next time. Alright, bye!